Welcome to the Snapshots of History channel. Unique stories behind each photo await you. Prepare to be amazed, smile, and immerse yourself in an atmosphere of the past that still inspires. This is Sawchuk, a legendary Canadian hockey player and one of the best goaltenders in NHL history. His face is a veritable map of battle scars earned from years of playing without a helmet in goal. This guy was not afraid of pain, but thanks to him, goalie masks became a must-have in hockey. This photo shows Italian movie icon Sophia Loren and director Vittorio Desica, who looks like he just hit the jackpot standing next to such a diva. Loren. It's a classic scene from the set where art and charisma come together. Sophia, with her magnetism, attracted millions of viewers, and Desica created movies that became masterpieces. True cinematic magic. A moment of Operation Gusty Wind, conducted in Saigon in 1975 during the Vietnam War. It was the final act of evacuation of American citizens and locals who were trying to leave the city before it fell. People are clinging to the helicopter doors, trying to get one last chance to escape. Everyone fights for the place where their future is decided. The operation came to symbolize the dramatic end of the war, leaving a deep mark on history. Maud Wagner, the first known female tattoo artist in America. Yes, it was she who turned the art of tattooing from a male pastime into an entire culture in the early 20th century. Her body is a gallery of art, and her look is a challenge to a society that considered her style too bold. The photo shows the famous accident at Monparnasse station in Paris, which occurred on October 23, 1895. The steam locomotive, having lost control, broke through the wall and spectacularly parked nose down in the street. The story sounds like a scene from a movie. The driver failed to brake in time, and the train, with heroic persistence, decided that platforms were too boring. The photo shows Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist whose life and work have come to symbolize courage and passion. Frida was known not only for her striking self-portraits, but also for her strong personality. This shot perfectly captures her character, both gentle and determined, with a dose of rebelliousness. If anyone could make art into a weapon, it would be Frida. They are 53-year-old twins, Dressie and Kazi from South Africa, whose simple but touching lives have gained notoriety thanks to this iconic photo. Born with intellectual disabilities, they spent most of their lives in the care of their relatives and later moved into a nursing home where they are cared for around the clock. Their stern, focused gaze in the photograph has become a true metaphor for resilience. The photo shows Anita Ekberg, star of Sweet Life, and photographer Pierluigi Praderlon. This shot perfectly captures the atmosphere of the era. Glamorous and confident, Anita is the center of attention, while Praderlon, with camera at the ready, is clearly enchanted by her charisma. Together, they create not just a shot, but a moment that becomes part of the history of cinema and photography. The photo shows an early morning train in Japan, 1964. This is not transportation, but a mobile hotel for overworked residents. With suits, ties, and briefcases, passengers catch precious minutes of sleep as if it were the last station on the way to a dream weekend. Every corner is transformed into a sleeping place. A neighbor's shoulder is a pillow, a handrail a support. This shot is a quiet hymn to the diligence of the Japanese and their ability to fall asleep anywhere, anytime. This photo shows an Iranian woman in the 1960s, the era before the Islamic Revolution. She poses in front of a car, a symbol of modernity and freedom, by the sea, exuding confidence and relaxation. This shot is a reminder of a time when Iran was a place where Western lifestyle and tradition went hand in hand. Her easy smile and natural pose capture the spirit of a time when women were free to choose their clothes, style, and lifestyle. The photo is of the legendary Woodstock Festival, 1969. It's not just a crowd of people, it's a symbol of an entire era. Young people, armed with guitars, flowers, and dreams of peace, gathered here for music, freedom, and protest against everything that seemed old-fashioned and oppressive. Woodstock was 3 days of rock and roll, rain, and mud. But for these people, it was a moment when peace seemed possible without war and hatred. Marianne Webster, an Englishwoman who became known in the early 20th century as the ugliest woman in the world because of acromegaly, a rare disease that altered her facial features. Despite the cruel title, her story is full of resilience and fortitude. Marianne was forced to participate in shows where her appearance was flaunted, but even in these circumstances, she maintained her dignity. The legendary moment in 1964 when Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay, met the Beatles. It was an era when boxing and rock and roll dominated the culture. Ali, in his usual fashion, sent the famous foursome into the ring in a humorous photo shoot. The Beatles, always ready for humor, happily played along, lying in the ring as if they had just lost a fight. This photo shows one of the first beauty pageants in the USSR, 1988. It was a time when the country was taking its first steps towards glamour and openness, and girls were bravely competing for the title of the most beautiful. This contest became a symbol of change in the USSR, when beauty and fashion began to find their place in society, where not so long ago such things were spoken about in whispers. Pictured here is the legendary Samson, the largest horse in history. This English heavy horse from Bedfordshire was a true giant of his time. His height reached an incredible 7 feet 2 inches, and his weight exceeded 3,300 pounds. Samson was more than just a horse. He became a living legend, a symbol of the power and strength of the heavy horses of the 19th century. Against the backdrop of this giant, even the most confident men look miniaturized. The photo shows the stunning Eartha Kitt, a legend of the 60s, known for her seductive voice, acting skills, and charisma. Eartha has always been a symbol of freedom and style, able to combine elegance and boldness. Her smile seems to energize the whole frame, turning the moment into pure inspiration. Pictured is baseball legend Babe Ruth in the farewell moment of his career in 1948. Yankee Stadium, filled to capacity, watches as Ruth stands on the field in his iconic 3 uniform, leaning on his bat like a symbol of his era. This photo is not just a photo, it's a farewell to the man who changed baseball and became a symbol of the American dream. Babe Ruth remains an icon. His name is known even to those far removed from the sport. This photo of a Maori woman and her son was taken in the 1890s in New Zealand. Their traditional outfits are adorned with feathers and symbolize their connection to nature and tribal culture. The woman has a ta moko on her chin, a ritual tattoo symbolizing her status, lineage, and community. This photo shows Soviet water polo champion Pyotr Mishveniradze and apparently his future successor. Peter, with his impressive woolly armor, looks like a man for whom water is his native element and his rivals are just random passers-by. The little boy next to him looks on with a slight wariness, as if trying to figure out, do I really need to become as tough as Daddy? This photo shows passengers at the Greyhound bus station in Los Angeles, 1969. This is the era when comfort and technology began to creep into public spaces. People enjoy individual TVs that turn on for a dime, almost like Netflix, but retro,